Ba-na-na-na-na. Hey, ba-dum-bum-bum. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to KocoSports. It's where the world comes cash, your home for common sports, and above all, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. I am the huge one, kid, idiot Dave Koco from Wrestle AM, a podcast here on YouTube, KocoSports, wherever you find podcasts, and I am with my tag team partner, VTuber extraordinaire, at Sid's Light. Matter of fact, guys, go follow Sid's Light wherever he goes. Follow him in the hallway. Follow him on Twitter. Follow him in the bathroom. Follow him on YouTube. Follow him in the dark alley. Follow him on Twitch. Make it happen.
Just don't be that guy in the public restroom that like makes eye contact between the gaps in the stalls. Don't be that guy though.
Never be that guy. And this is a review of the first episode and our thoughts on it. A brand new company, Sukeban, where they bring anime, Japan, and women's wrestling to America. We're asking you.
Ode to that like 60s, 70s like gang women style.
Yeah. And we're asking you win, loss, or tie. What did you think of it? And of course, being the first episode, the first time, this is a big one. This is a big one. A lot of people watch the first episodes and bail. For newer companies, this is huge. Mm-hmm. Sid, I'll let you go first. Win, loss, or tie, and then we'll go over the results after we give our first initial thoughts.
For me, it's a win. I think. All right. So I have to preface it by saying there are definitely some flaws to it. I think they need to do something about their lighting or their cameras because it felt like it was saturated. Namely because I've done graphics work where I've used their logo for things when we first previewed it originally. So I know how bright the colors are in their logo. And it just felt like it was a little saturated, which made me wonder if just the whole thing was a little saturated. Not a big thing, but it would be nice if you're putting that much energy into your costumes to make sure that the colors pop. Commentary wasn't perfect, but I thought they did a really good job selling the wrestlers and what was going on in the ring to try and get the wrestlers over, which is a really underappreciated skill that I think all commentary teams should have, but don't necessarily have. That said, though, they didn't really tell me a lot about the characters, but then again, maybe because it's so young, they don't know a lot about the characters. They also yelled a lot, which they didn't need to yell so much.
What?
The costumes were neat, but I think for most of them, the costumes were not perfect for in-ring competition. I also heavily question the decision to put Tomoka Inaba in a mask. That is a gorgeous woman who is under that stray cat mask. It's crazy. As well as Saori she was fighting with her costume the entire time during the match. Kept like pulling up the top, whether it was a risk of revealing or not. If a wrestler is fixing their top that much, then they're distracted by it, and that's going to hinder them, which I think is a bad thing. And
yeah,
overall, though, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I wonder if they actually got the license for the music they used, but I enjoyed it, and I popped pretty hard for who their GM is.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely popped for her, and we'll talk more about that. I give it a win. I liked it a lot, but at the same time, I'm like, the lighting looked good, but like you said, it was a bit off.
Yeah, like it's well lit. It was just the colors were a little saturated.
And I think this is the Lucha Underground, like Lucha Underground Americanized and TVized. Is that a word? TVized Lucha. I feel like they're doing that with women's Japanese pro wrestling. And it's way over the top. And as long as they stick with it in the universe, I think that's okay. I enjoyed it. I thought the anime parts were pretty cool. I did feel like it was a over the top, but I think that's what they were going for. I don't think they were taking themselves seriously at all. And if they keep that tone throughout the whole universe, I won't mind. But if it changes, and obviously their gear can change to fit better. Trish Stratus, I don't always agree with Trish Stratus, but Trish Stratus hated that. Like she would rant and rave. Maybe I'm being a little sarcastic, but she would go off on Like, dude, you don't fix your gear. Why aren't you like, that's like a big part of being a professional. But a lot of these women might have been wrestling in this for the first time. Most
Yeah,
of them
I
are new
think they were,
characters.
because one thing I noticed with the costumes, I don't know if you noticed, the people who were more experienced wrestlers, not to take away, most of them are fairly experienced. They're not. It's not a cast of rookies by any means. Like, but the ones who have had more time, you could tell by their in-ring gear that they knew what they needed to do with their gear. Like Nakajima, Commander Nakajima, 100% said, "Fuck this costume shit. I'm wearing this as my in-ring gear. This works."
She's like, you know what? I'm not listening to any of it. But overall, I enjoyed it. I thought the commentary did a good job. I don't know. Overall, it isn't bad. I hope they stick with the theme, though. I see too many companies launch with an idea and then they get lost in the sauce and they're everything. I will continue watching this as a theme, but like, I want to know the characters more, and I think they could do that with anime. They could do that with that, but the anime is a nice touch, and also too with the animation, they can reuse it a lot. Like, they set it up where it's like, oh, that's clever. Like, I've worked in anime and manga, and the way they have it set up is like, oh, that's clever. You could switch it out, switch it in. It's kind of like video games, like a fight now screen. They don't have to reanimate it over and over and over. They just have it programmed, and it's like, okay, that's good. But yeah, I give it a win. I'm probably going to give it a couple more episodes. I don't know if I'm going to review it. I thought they did a great job of getting the content out there. I want to thank...
Yeah, really smart turnaround time on getting it up to YouTube, honestly.
100%. Because here's the thing. We watched it on YouTube.
Yep.
And if you don't, you probably can get...
I missed it on TikTok Live, so I wouldn't have gotten a chance to see it otherwise.
Yeah, and just being on all platforms is a good idea. KocoSports on every platform. But yeah, I'd want to thank Ray T from Houston, Texas. He's the one that sent me the link. And especially considering Noah had a big event, AEW was there, DDT had a big event, New Japan had a big event. This was your launch episode. You don't put this on TikTok, you don't put it on YouTube, you get lost in the sauce really quick.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to put every episode up there, but until you get a TV deal, I would definitely do it. I would just put it everywhere.
Yeah, I think this is a really smart new age approach to starting a wrestling federation.
Yeah.
I think that at least for the very start of it, they've done a lot of really, really intelligent things.
Yeah.
That say they're savvy to how the market works today.
And maybe this ain't the case. Maybe they're just clever. But I feel like whenever the internet or me personally have had a complaint, they've answered the complaint. Like, they are quick to be like, oh, what is this? What is this? And obviously people have been burnt before by a lot of different combined night events, but you could tell the people that run this have experience. Because I remember the first time I seen it, it's like, oh, I don't give a shit until you have the roster. Ooh, that's a nice roster. Oh, I don't give a shit. Who's in charge?
As soon as it was announced, they had so much information ready for you to get. We were able to do a whole preview off it.
Yeah, and I hope more companies... I hope this company is successful, and I hope it sticks with its vision. But I hope...
The one thing...
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I hope more companies follow this. This was a good launch.
Yes, really smart launch.
Yeah. You were about to say something, sir?
Yeah, I was going to say, so they put a really big emphasis on their costumes and the fashion designer involved and everything, which I don't think they're going to be quick to get rid of the costumes that they have. But I think maybe one thing for them to think about is, do we maybe use these great fashion design costumes that aren't so good for in-ring? Do we maybe use them for segments for when we're not wrestling as our non-in-ring gear, and then have separate in-ring gear like Commander Nakajima did? Because I think that is probably where they need to aim toward going.
Yeah. And not only that, but like, I don't know, like, them in character, in ring is special, but I'm okay with the entrance being in and then you take it off, like Vader style.
I also would be fine with that. Yeah.
I'm completely fine with that. And just, I would just, if moving forward, we got to know the characters like we did with Lucha Underground. I'm kind of wondering, because like we fell in love with Lucha Underground, and I could see falling in love with this product. The thing is, though, like, I'm kind of like thinking back, did they do a better job of introducing characters in Lucha Underground? Because I think it's fair to say
did at the
this
start,
is Lucha
but
Underground.
to be fair, Lucha Underground also started. I mean, it started with Robert Rodriguez. Like, it started as a TV show. Lucha Underground started with like multiple minute-long vignettes for multiple different things. It built the story. But from what I remember, it mostly just built the story around Prince Puma initially, and then branched out as their success grew. So I don't know how they're going to approach expanding on their characters, but I feel like right now a good way to put it is I love the concept of what they're doing. I want to love the characters.
100%. And the thing is, I'm willing to give it a couple weeks, but like, if I don't feel a connection to the characters, I think I'm gonna bail in 6 weeks. I think
in a few events. We don't know how long they'll be between events.
Yeah. A few events. Like, I'd probably give it. My interest is peaked, and if you can get me hooked on the characters and the storylines, because it's very character driven event. If you can get me hooked to the characters and use the anime and I don't know, I'm excited, but I have to know the characters more. I think that's where we're at right now.
It's in a very promising place to me.
Yeah. All right, let's break this down match by match. So there we go. We are reading this off pwtorch.com. I'd like to thank Sid's Light for sending me the link. That's you. And
I'm the bitch.
There we go. All right. So I did Vita Scott. I know her from ROH. And Sam Laterna is the commentary. I apologize if I'm slaughtering your name. I thought they did a good job. You thought they yelled a little too much, huh?
I did like them as commentary, but there were times where I felt like they were yelling just a little bit too much.
Yeah. You got the Cherry Bomb Girls, Crush You, Supersonic, and Rico Blondie. A lot of these girls are going by different names, and I'm okay with that. I'm along for the ride. I'm seeing this as a whole new universe. And they're going against the Vandals, Banshee, Otaka-chan, and Bingo with Midnight Player. The Cherry Bomb Girls, I think that's going to be my team. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know. That's not
my team at all.
Really? I just think that's like the fun part of Japan. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. The Cherry Bomb, I don't know. As a guy living in Japan, I thought that was like, oh, that's the cool part of Japan that isn't shown. Where like the Vandals, it's like, oh god, come on, Vandals.
I like the dangerous liaisons.
What's that?
I like the dangerous liaisons.
Oh.
Nakajima won me over, man.
Nakajima is pretty awesome. Well, I do have a love of Nakajimas, as there's a Nakajima above my head.
I don't think there's a relation.
Now, this one, I like this. A little bit of nitpicking. I think the next match should have been the first match. You got Saki Bami, Queen Takase, but then Konami comes out, and Konami is kind of like a legend. She is a legend, not kind of. I apologize.
Konami's trained by Kana, very talented, has been on a health hiatus for a couple years, and it only recently reappeared at a small show. She hasn't. This is her first. It seems like actual recurring gig she's had since taking her health hiatus. Trained by Kana, trained by we were just talking about him before the show. Minoru Takaba?
I don't think that's his name.
Fuck, what was it? God damn it, why did I butcher it?
I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know who you're talking about, but I know
Minoru Tanaka.
Oh, Tanaka. Yeah, Tanaka's amazing. And by the way,
those are who trained Konami.
And for those, most people know this, but just in case, Kana is WWE's Asuka.
Oh, sorry. That's a bad habit I have.
Oh, me too. I got to try to get better at it.
It's just because, like,
You
I
just
loved
assume
Chris
people know
Kana
what you
for
know.
so long that Asuka's just her name in WWE to me, but Kana's like
Yeah.
the YouTuber, the fucking the
The video
crazy
game
like
reporter,
so
the
much stuff,
star, the fashion model or fashion icon.
everything.
Yeah, she's
So
awesome.
that's my bad.
But yeah, it was nice to see Konami start. Obviously we're nitpicking
Well,
here, but I think
not
I'd
to
have been
skip past the first match though. I do think that would have been a better first
oh
match for the
100%
night
better first match.
because it's more exciting. But I didn't hate this match either though.
Yeah. And Konami does win. They're doing a lot of storylines with
Oh,
people
we
joining and not
skipped past
joining.
the Cherry Bomb Girls win.
Yeah, the Cherry Bomb Girls won.
Yeah,
Um,
we've lost way past over that, man.
okay, well you had more to say. I'm
Yeah,
sometimes.
I just wanted to say I thought it was pretty impressive that Otaku Chan was wrestling in that gimmick with the glasses and everything
Oh
else.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
So
I was kind of impressed by her being able to wrestle in that outfit.
I don't know. Like I've been living here in Japan for 20 years, so sometimes I see something that's like over the top, but I'm like, oh yeah, that is a thing here. You know what I mean?
To you, you were just like, oh, that's just a normal day-to-day outfit.
I mean, it's kind of like over the top, but yeah, there are people that dress like that. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, sometimes I go a little fast. If you want, we can rewind, slow down. But I
No,
thought
we're
the
fine.
Konami thing, I was happy.
We both got excited when we mentioned Konami. I think is what
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is. Konami
uh,
was a really exciting reveal.
yeah. And I think because I knew about the other reveal, and we'll talk about that later. But I didn't know about Konami. Maybe it slipped under my radar. Maybe internet
I
heads
didn't know
knew.
about either reveal.
Oh, really? I knew about the second reveal.
No. So I was really stoked.
Oh, that's awesome. I kind of wish I didn't. Stupid internet. Stupid, sexy internet always telling me stuff.
Ruins it.
But yeah, I thought this was match of the night. I enjoyed it. Obviously, marking out for Konami. And yeah, hopefully. And
Plus, at the end, you had her join the Dangerous Liaisons, didn't she?
let's find out. Let's see. PW Torch recap. With Konami being a free agent, both Bimmy and Takase held open opposing ring ropes, encouraging Konami to join the faction. Konami beat down Bimmy and hugged Takase, bringing Dangerous Alliance up to 5 members.
Yeah,
Lizards.
best faction.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah,
Best
you already
faction.
fucked up. You picked already.
I did.
You
I
picked
did.
Cherry Bomb Girls.
I did.
Ha-ha.
That's on me. You know what? I remember back in the day. I don't know.
Cherry Bomb.
I don't know. I don't
couldn't
know if you
believe
were
they had that
watching
song.
pro wrestling back then or Japanese pro wrestling back then, but there was a time where everyone loved the company and Kenta. So it would be like, I'm a Dragon Gate fan and Kenta. I love New Japan and Kenta. So that's me. I love Cherry Bombs and Konami.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a cool surprise. I just think, maybe I'm being selfish here. I think that should have been the first match. I mean,
Yeah, I
Konami
agree.
pops up. I'm like,
It's a really, really great match. I thought. I mean, I think they could have had a better match. I think Konami held back a lot. Like I didn't see much of her Puro style that she's pretty great at. But it was still a good match.
also too like health and three-way, a triple threat. So
Mhm.
yeah, I enjoyed it. I maybe because I'm just marking out for Konami. Maybe that's it.
Oh, I liked it a lot though too.
Midnight Player versus Stray Cat. Stray Cat wins in 11:08. Big fan of Stray Cat. Player left, but returned with Vandal shirt. Offered it to Cat. Cat just waved her finger no and left alone. I thought commentary did a really good job putting this over, and I like that the factions are there, but like with factions, you have to really pay attention. You don't want to be like New Japan. New Japan is horrible at factions. A lot of companies are horrible at factions. You want to be like Dragon Gate or I don't know. Dragon Gate's so good at factions. Let's just stay with Dragon Gate.
I feel like Dragon Gate.
I like Dragon Gate, but when it comes to factions, they dominate.
Yeah.
Like their factions mean something. Their faction, like you just go and you're like, oh, they're a team. They are, like gun to my
Which
head.
I hope is how this ends up going. Is how it feels like it's starting toward. And I
Yeah.
hope it stays on that track.
I hope that's the hope track I go to, because gun to my head, I've never missed a New Japan show probably in years. I don't know when the last time I missed a New Japan show. I've watched a lot of New Japan. Gun to my freaking head, and granted, I don't have the best memory in the world. I'm not Wikipedia Dan. I can't name every member of Chaos. Gun to my head. Is Tanahashi in Chaos? Who fucking knows?
Who knows?
Who fucking knows? He's friends with him, but is he officially in? Does he have a card?
Whether
he's
in it or not,
Team New Japan?
he'll end up in an 8-man match on their team and against their team within the next 5 events.
Yeah, it's 100%.
Mark my words, Ghetto will book it.
Get on it, Ghetto. Midnight Players. Go ahead, sir.
No, I was just gonna say, this match is one that I definitely. There were 2 matches that I felt like the costumes were holding back the wrestlers. This is the one that I felt like it was probably the biggest, because it's Aoi is Midnight Player and
yeah,
Tamaka
she's amazing
Inaba
from
is
Ice
Stray
Ribbon.
Cat. Both of them are really good wrestlers.
100%.
And I still stand by whoever decided to put Stray Cat in a mask. If it wasn't her, I don't like you right now, because that woman is gorgeous.
Well,
there's a beautiful woman.
There's a lot of beautiful women that are VTubers in Japan. There's a lot of beautiful women that wear masks.
There's actually a running joke with a lot of VTubers that a ton of the popular VTubers are actually attractive people.
I met a bunch this weekend at the Tokyo Video Game Show, and I was like, if I looked like you, I'd definitely not be a VTuber. If I looked like Sid, I'd be a VTuber, but looking like you...
Whoa.
I'm just kidding.
I'm a good-looking guy.
I mean, for a raccoon. But yeah, I thought this is the best ones. But also, fun fact, Gail Kim started off in a mask.
Did she?
Yeah. I remember.
Well, then again, Kana's gorgeous and covers her face in tons of crazy paint all the time, so I guess it's not a shock.
Yeah. So overall, I think if these two have a rematch and they get their costumes down, it'll be pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. It was still a good match.
And it's weird because, like, I think I was more excited because I knew who was under the mask, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for the company moving forward. Because, like, we all knew Ricochet was Prince Puma, but at the time, we really loved Prince Puma.
Yeah.
So I kind of...
Stray Cat does look like they're going to make her one of their central people, though.
Yeah. And once again, the commentary did a real good job. I forget what the line was, but I was like, God damn, this commentary. Give yourself a Barry Horowitz.
Yeah, a commentary did a great job throughout the night of putting over the acts.
All right. And the Harajuku Stars were out next for tag action. Harajuku? By the way,
yeah, Harajuku Stars.
Dude, let me tell you something, dude. I live in Japan, and I go to Harajuku at least once a month. 20 years, still can't pronounce it correctly. Dude, but here's the thing. You want to see Japanese fashion, that's where you go. It is bonkers insane. It's just bonkers insane. I don't know. I always go down there because my son used to work in television, and that's where he would always go down for some commercials and stuff. But yeah.
That's where he got all his fashion advice.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. He's just he wears Minecraft shirts now, so I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, go with what makes the money, baby.
Exactly. Dangerous Liaisons. Commander Nakajima, I think, stole the show. And Leda Anita versus the Harajuku Stars.
Because she changed her look from their initial planned look for her.
Oh, really?
Originally, she didn't have the goth lipstick, and she had purple hair. Like, you could still see it in her her animated version of her. It still has the purple hair and the no goth lipstick. But the goth lipstick was a good choice, ma'am. You looked great.
Do you think she's, like, the badass that's like, yeah, I ain't doing that?
Dude, she felt like she was a badass.
I know. I think out of all... If we're going with just this show, we're not going throughout the history of their career, I think she shined the most.
Yeah.
If we're going just this show.
I think you also have to point out, though, she had the least gimmicky costume of the night by far.
And maybe that's why she did stand out.
I think that's part of it that makes me wonder is I think that more of them need to follow her style of a different in-ring look that lets them perform at peak.
Yeah. And you could Vader it up. Come out in a great costume, take it off.
Yeah,
You know? Yeah.
tons of great wrestlers have done that.
Yeah. They and then was a huge surprise for you, and I'm jealous. I wish it was a surprise for me. Bull Nakano comes out,
I popped so hard, dude.
55
I
years
did
old,
not
still
expect
looks
Bull.
beautiful, and
And an
yeah,
icon in women's wrestling.
100%, 100%. And her being GM is just the cherry on the cake. The title, I wasn't feeling
Chef's
the
kiss.
title. I wasn't feeling
I
the title,
kind of
but
liked it. I wish I could have got a full view of it. That's the problem. I
yeah.
only got to see like glances of it. I didn't get to see like that full held up shot of it, and I'd really like a picture of that. If you guys want to tweet at KocoSports a picture of it, we'll do a video about the title.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
If you guys hear us and want to tweet us the picture. So
I'm going to read this off PW Torch so I don't miss anything. In the arena, the 55-year-old Nakano made her entrance. She wore a black and white suit with a giant jeweled necklace with a Bride of Frankenstein-esque head wrap and mimicked her old hair. Looking like Cruella DeVille. Straight up shoot. Cruella DeVille was my first crush. Bear Friend finds this fucking hilarious. My first crush was Cruella DeVille.
Yeah, you probably agreed with her ethics.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I did have a puppy foundation, but I didn't skin them. I just took care of them.
Yeah, that's how it starts.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I never wore a puppy jacket.
Yeah.
We got off topic. Her face was painted white with blue lipstick, lightning lines all drawn on. She carried a belt over her shoulder. The belt was white straps with the best colors in front. Looked like it was drawn by a toddler. Damn. PW Torch.
That's them. That's PW Torch shooting on the belt.
In English,
I thought it looked like a cool pattern. I just would like to see a full shot of it.
yeah, yeah. And my thing is, I wonder if they didn't show a shot of it because it did look like it was drawn by a toddler.
Maybe. I think it just wasn't something that they thought about for whatever reason. But the glimpses I saw of it, I didn't get the drawn by a toddler vibe. I got it almost looked like it might end up being like a bouquet of flowers kind of a thing. Like it looked like an explosion of color, which I kind of liked. It was different.
It was different. I definitely wanted to get a good look at it, though. In English, Nakano said she would be back. The commissioner of... Yeah, we know this. All right. So then they announced tonight's main event. We'll talk about that. Okay,
That was
whatever.
it for Bull Nakano.
What's that?
That was all they had written for Bull.
Yeah. And...
Still cool as shit that Bull was
Ichigo...
Yeah.
100%. Like, I know it sounds weird, but her and Konami are the star power. It reminded me of... I hate to compare it to Lucha Underground, but I'm getting that vibe, and it's a good
The closest things I can compare it to are Lucha Underground and oh my god, someone's gonna be ashamed of me. I'm ashamed of me because my brain just blanked right now. It's where Orange Cassidy came from. Fire Ant, Tree Man. Yes, Chikara. To me, it's in the same vein as Chikara and Lucha Underground.
Fun fact: streamer Tugi24 and promoter Brawl USA love Chikara.
Who doesn't?
I didn't watch it enough.
Not enough people since Chikara has gone.
Like, yeah, because the thing is, I didn't watch it enough. What I watched, I enjoyed, but I didn't watch it enough to say.
I will say I was more like that. There were some awesome things that I saw from Chikara, but I did not actively watch Chikara on a consistent basis.
Maybe have a Chikara. I wonder if we can. I don't know. I know they got in a lot of trouble. Who has the rights to stream Chikara? I don't know. Anyway, Ichigo Sayaka goes against Countess Sayori. I'm probably saying that wrong. World Championship Eliminator. So there you go. They battle it out. Ichigo Sakaya wins. And good or bad, I thought the match was going to be longer. I wanted more.
I did too. And I thought it was going to be a longer. There was the botch at the end with the miscounted 3 and the ring and the bell and everything. which makes me wonder if that was supposed to go longer or what. The end was definitely not great. It was botched and it hurt it. That said, it was a good match. Should have went longer, but this was the other match where I felt like you could see the costume become a hindrance beyond where it should be. Saori was checking the top of her costume constantly through that match. She was pulling it up or checking it to make sure it wasn't falling down. If a wrestler is that distracted by their costume, then you need to change their costume because it's clearly causing a mental distraction for them. They shouldn't be fixing their I don't care what gender it is. If a wrestler has to constantly fix their costume after every spot or bump, there's a problem with their costume design. It's not properly designed for their body for in-ring performance how they wrestle.
Or if you flick your hair out of your face, get a haircut. Like, do it once or twice, I understand. But, Jay White.
You say that, but I'm not going to go to AJ Styles and tell him to cut his hair.
Yeah, but AJ's not that bad.
AJ's pretty bad about it.
I don't know. Have you seen Jay White?
He just doesn't do it really dramatic, but he's wiping his hair out of his face after everything.
This is Jay White. All right, guys, go to the clothesline. All right, guys.
I assume what you're doing is funny.
Oh, yeah, you can't see me. It was fucking hilarious. 10 out of 10. It was the greatest fucking joke in YouTube history. All right.
So, I did enjoy the match, though.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add? If I'm going to read the last part and then call it a day.
No, nothing else to add.
Commander Nakashi appeared in the ring and shoved Sayaka before tackling her and unloading right hands. The rest of Harajuku ran out to make the save, but the rest of the Lizen joined them, and the faces were outnumbered. I like that. I'm a big fan of, if it's your first show, have the heels in the ring and have the faces down so the heels are looking down at them. It wasn't 100% done right, but it was pretty good.
Especially when you're going with the faction approach, and right out of the gates, you have your biggest faction is a heel one with 5. You got to do it.
Yeah, and Bull Nakano break things up by announcing it will be Sayaka versus Nakajima to crown the first champion to our next show. And I have a bad memory. I thought they announced that before the match, but I was fucking wrong. Thank you, Pro Wrestling Torch, for fixing my memory.
No, I'm pretty excited about that. I think it's pretty obvious it'll be Nakajima.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty excited for that. I really want to see how their next show goes.
I understand. And what is the schedule? Are they going weekly?
I don't know.
ROH? Yeah, I'd be really interested to find out.
I'll go now and I'll look at their site and just see if they have any kind of schedule up yet. I know they're selling merch on their site already, which is fucking.
Oh, that's smart.
They were ready, dude. Like they were ready.
Yeah.
They planned this launch really well.
I'll be honest.
I don't have the next show's date, so maybe they wanted to wait and see how this did before they started planning another show.
Yeah, but it could have been like Impact, where they did 6 or 7 TV tapings in one taping.
Oh, that's true.
So I don't know.
I think that would have leaked already, though.
Maybe not.
Like I think it would have leaked.
Yeah, but either way, I'm probably gonna give it 6 shows. I'm very interested, and it wasn't perfect, but I'll put it this way: if you were gonna start a company in North America, I would hire the guys that did this. This is probably one of the best launches I've seen that wasn't started by a millionaire billionaire.
You had unique branding. You had all your branding ready to go. You had your site set up with your roster, everything before you announced your world premiere. You had merch set up for all the different roster, all your different brands you've created in your roster for this. Already you had merch set up in a shop ready to go. Like,
yeah.
You started on TikTok, which is a really ballsy move to do your first show as a live on TikTok. I didn't even know it was live on TikTok, which is on me. But they did it live on TikTok, and then within 4 days? Within 3 days,
it was pretty up
on YouTube.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
It was September 21st is when it happened, and it was up on YouTube within 3 days. There are a lot of pros to this, as well as the way they've approached with Twitter, where they've been. I've retweeted a few of them. They will tweet out like little animated things for each wrestler. They don't have a ton of details about them, but they're neat.
Yeah.
And I think it's chef's kiss. The planning that has went into this is really good.
Yeah, and not that, but like, just from a nerd's perspective, anytime we've had a question, they haven't answered it individually, but they get on it right away. It's like, we're going to launch this. Well, that means nothing. Who's in charge? Oh, that's who's in charge. Well, then who's the roster? Oh, okay. When's the first episode? Where can I see it? Like, I don't know how much money's behind this, but it was launched pretty damn well for an independent.
Yeah.
It was launched pretty damn well. So, congratulations. You got me. I'm going to watch 6 more episodes, and I hope people stick with it, and I hope more independent companies learn from this company.
I'm most excited to see how it will grow. And I haven't actually broached the topic of us wanting to do an interview since I pushed for the Lucha Underground interview forever ago.
Yeah.
That was the last time I was like, we should do an interview.
Yeah, usually I'm not a big fan of interviews.
To talk to somebody from Sukeban.
I would definitely talk to him.
Love to have an interview with somebody from Sukeban.
Yeah. Because a lot of times it's like, it's 3 things. Interviews are bad for most reasons. 1, the host usually just kisses their ass. 2, the host talks too much and someone's like, oh my God, I can't believe fucking the host is actually talking on his show. Or 3, they shoot like, I don't know, the fucking bullshit, I'm gonna fucking talk louder than you, shoot bullshit. It's really hard to get a good interview, but also you have to be intrigued by something. I was a guy that got paid a very good wage to interview people, and I fucking hated it. Oh God, I fucking hated it.
What are you doing? I just tried to pitch for an interview, and you immediately say, hey,
no, because I will
killing me.
I will do this interview. I will do this interview because it's interesting. I will do this interview because it's intriguing. But
You're killing me.
Like, most interviews are fucking just garbage.
No, yeah. I think if you interview someone and you aren't yourself interested in what they have to talk about, it's gonna be a bad interview.
Yeah.
I honestly, I just want to hear these people talk about their passion for this project and how it came to be. Because holy shit, the planning that must have went into this. Like we've said multiple times, chef's kiss. This brilliantly executed start.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So, we'll keep covering you. You keep making it and make it available. And I don't know where this goes from here, but give yourself a Barry Horowitz for a great launch. You deserve it.
I'm very interested to see where we go.
All right. He is Sid's Light on everything. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, the moon, and the mean streets of North America. And I'm KocoSports on everything. We're both streamers on Twitch. And we have a podcast, Wrestle AM, on YouTube, KocoSports. If you're watching this on YouTube, well, this is only going to be on YouTube, so it's on this, but this is the case. We have podcasts everywhere. Wherever podcasts are. And if not, just knock. Like, who don't we have yet? AOL?
Yeah.
Just knock on AOL door and be like, what's up? Why not Wrestle AM?
We don't have Apple.
We don't have Apple?
No.
So, the fucking stupid. Wait. So, we don't have Apple and AOL?
No.
AOL has
I don't think AOL does streaming. Why do you want AOL?
I don't know. I thought you said AOL. Where did AOL come from?
You said AOL.
You know what?
And I said, no, we don't have AOL. Why would they have
So
AOL?
Apple's the assholes that won't let us. Goddamn Steve Jobs.
We're not big enough for Apple yet.
Let me tell you, Steve Jobs would accept us. Look at him.
We're no New York. We're no Big Apple.
No. Well, it's so funny, too, because, like, when you go to meet corporate people, you find out who you are really quick. I got a funny story. I went and to go interview someone, and not interview, but like interact with them, and they fucking ignored me until someone else noticed who I was, and then they were really happy to see me, and I was like, "You're a bad human, just a bad human."
Like, Hulk Hogan?
No, it was our purple buddies that I under contract shouldn't tell you who it is, but when we walked in, they're like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And then another purple buddy saw me, and then all the purple buddies were like, "Oh, you're him." I'm like, but you could have just been cool, man. You didn't have to.
Yeah, you could have just been nice until you knew.
Yeah. You could have just fucking played this thing through, man. It's kind of
No.
awkward now. No, what's never awkward? Hitting the like, comment, subscribe button. Is it one button? I don't know. I think it's 3 different things. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the button. Go crazy. Go nuts
Let
down
us know
there.
what you thought
Oh,
of the
man.
show too. Like honestly,
What's
in the
that?
comments, if you watch the show, let us know what you thought of the show.
And it is for free on YouTube, so we'll make it a top comment.
Yeah, I'll put it in the links.
Yeah. So, all right. Like, comment, subscribe. With that, I am over. Hey, boom, 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 boom.